Oh man, ETF deadline day. Woo, Gary Gensler finally approved the Bitcoin spot ETF, or is he gonna kick the can down the road? So much drama in the last 24 hours. Are we finally gonna get an anticlimax? Is the market gonna dump? Are we gonna pump? What could go on? Every single thing is an option now. We could hear nothing. We can get a delay. All sorts could happen right now. So we're gonna chill here for a little while here together. I'm gonna sip on my cup of tea. I suggest you guys do the same. I'll pull up the charts, right? I'll get the charts ready. You guys go and get yourself something to drink. So let's go get the charts up. Let's also make sure the TV's working. Let's just check. You guys let me know in the comments if you can hear this okay. Let's hit the audio
in
there.
The stock market. Let's talk about Amazon. Of course, Amazon moving about 2% higher today. This after news that they're live.
You guys let me know if you can hear the suits over there just okay. And if you can, that's great. We'll also jump on over to the charts. We've got Bitcoin obviously bouncing here nicely off of the 45.2k level support on the 4-hourly chart here. And the question now is going to be, can we really start getting a god candle, right? Can we get a crazy candle here to the upside, moving us up towards 49 and 50? Will Gary Gensler, will he decide that yesterday's hack on his Twitter account, is going to change his mind, or whether he's going to approve a Bitcoin ETF? Now, I personally don't think so. We've seen a lot of rumors on Twitter. We've seen a lot of information shared on Twitter as well about different listings on the CBOE. Now, you got to remember, all of those are just listings. That's everybody doing the background work to prepare for a potential approval, right? So if we do get approved today, then fantastic. We expect that trading will start from tomorrow. But if we don't, then maybe Gary Gensler wants to kick the can down the road. Now, I don't think so, right? I think it's just inevitability. I think it's a formality at this point, and I think we're going to go ahead and get this Bitcoin spot ETF. Now, hopefully, we get it in the next hour or two. It may be a bit longer. It may be when we jump off this stream. So I'm going to stay on for as long as possible. It's 8 p.m. here in the UK. Some people are saying it could be at market close. Others are saying it could be in the next couple of hours. Let's see. The reality is nobody knows, right? At this point, even probably Gary Gensler doesn't know because he keeps forgetting his password for Twitter. So yeah, it's all up in there. Let's see who we got in the chat. You guys give me a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you guys are. Let me know how you're doing. Steve, good to see you. Stephen Brown, good to see you as well. Matt Lambo, Stanton Suklal, Marcos, good to see you, buddy. Justin, good to see you as well, mate. Good, a lot of familiar faces. Mike's in here, Adil's in here. Don't be surprised. Don't not share this video, right? Make sure you share the stream. Let's get a bunch of people in here chilling together, watching what's happening in the countdown to the close. And then hopefully, maybe after the close, a nice announcement, right? Do we get that Bitcoin spot ETF announcement? Let's take a look here at the Bitcoin chart. From a technical analysis point of view, if we take a look here, you can see the EMA ribbon. Let's just pull this out. Nice bounce, right? Moves into the EMA ribbon. Nice bounce. You need the higher high. This wick here took us to a high of 47.9. We need to get past that 47.9 mark, right? So whenever we see whatever news we get, boom, can we get past that level? Can we break above, hold support, and start working our way through? That's what we want to do. Now, a lot of people have been asking my opinion on what I think is going to happen in terms of the price action once the Bitcoin ETF gets approved. You have to remember, this is like the worst kept secret ever, right? Everybody knows that a Bitcoin spot ETF is an inevitability. So you're going to have a lot of anti-climax involved, right? You're going to have a lot of buy the rumor, sell the news. Do not be surprised to see excitement, right? Because people start buying in on the news and get excited, and traders know what they're doing as well. But then don't be surprised to see that kind of wick down and see that selling happen afterwards. So I expect like a crazy pump, excitement, euphoria, then start to sell off as things start to sober up. People start taking profits, particularly the traders. Don't be surprised to see something like Ethereum move, right? That trade, the cat got out of the bag yesterday during the hoax. We saw Ethereum starting to move, and Ethereum's had a strong day here today, up 5%. So don't be surprised to see Ethereum start to pick up some of that speculation money. So all the people who are speculating about a Bitcoin spot ETF may start rotating across to speculating about Ethereum spot ETF, because that's the next natural narrative. Okay, who we got in the chat? Let's see who we got. All right, Ryan's with an old man. Yemi, sup, Jazz. Shoaib, good to see you, buddy. He goes, at this rate, ETF not going to get approved. Shravanan, good to see you. Good evening. Tiger Paul, hi Ijaz from Australia here. Your thoughts on Phantom? I mean, we've covered Phantom off at length. Walkie, hi from the Netherlands. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you are well. Wakaz, good to see you. Gurdy, good evening to you, my buddy. My Sharona, good morning from Australia. A lot of Aussies waking up in the morning hoping for a Bitcoin spot ETF. Us UK folk are getting ready for bed at some point, but still waiting for an ETF. Okay. Cool. Right, guys, let's take a look at a few other things as well. I think the first thing we want to take a look at is altcoins, right? Look at altcoins here, kind of moving a little bit. Some of them are moving, some of them are bleeding. And ultimately, do not be surprised to see if a Bitcoin spot ETF gets approved, that initially we might see Bitcoin dominance climb, right? It might be an exciting moment for Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance might move to the upside. Dollar index here, which I'm showing you, could move to the downside a little bit more. That's something for us to watch. So at the moment, if you look at Bitcoin dominance, it's just moving into its 4-hourly EMA ribbon. So don't be surprised to see it do something like this to continue its upwards move. Okay, so that's what I'm watching for on the dollar index. In terms of Ethereum, we spoke about Ethereum up 5% already. Very, very strong move from here. Broke through resistance. Now, I personally think if we didn't have the Twitter hoax from yesterday, this could have easily not have happened, right? I think this has happened and been preempted by what happened with Gary Gensler and his Twitter account getting hacked. So what's happened is we basically figured out that what majority of the speculation money wants to do is rotate across into Ethereum. So Ethereum could easily be the next trade now after this Bitcoin spot ETF happens. That's where a lot of that speculation money could be going. What are your thoughts, guys? Give me in the comments below. Do you think we're going to get approval? If so, just put like approval today, approval tomorrow, put like delay. Let me know what you guys think. Ian, good to see you, buddy. Good afternoon. Michael Thompson, such familiar faces. Kieran, good to see you. Completely adored your content this last 24 hours. You were rapid. Appreciate you, Kieran. We're here to try add value where possible. And right now, I'm just chilling. I'm chilling with you guys. I'm going to pop up Bloomberg so we can listen to the suits celebrate our crypto as if, you know, they own the thing when they clearly denied the thing. Don't forget to listen to this. Let's have a listen to this, guys. This will be interesting. Let's listen to our good friend, Jamie Dimon. Let's have a listen to him.
And you know, famously said recently that you would shut it down if you were in government. Can you give us more clarity on that?
Yeah, what I was also pointing out is that the actual use cases are sex trafficking, tax avoidance, you know, anti-money laundering, terrorism financing. It's not people just buying and selling Bitcoin. There's no value to, you know, if you're buying and selling Bitcoin.
A lot there from
this dopey guy. Well, he's not dopey. He's trying to fool everybody. He's not going to fool us. You are not getting this community's Bitcoin. It's just not happening. We worked too hard during the goddamn bear market to give you our damn Bitcoins, all right? Now, plot twist. JP Morgan serves as an authorized participant in BlackRock's spot ETF. So they are more than just involved in BlackRock. We also know JP Morgan setting up various trading desks for crypto. We know that they're advising their wealth institutions about crypto. And no doubt from tomorrow, once we have this Bitcoin spot ETF, they'll be advising their high net worth individuals to get some exposure to the Bitcoin BlackRock spot ETF as well. Okay, so the fact that he's coming out and saying the same narrative is just a chance for him to load his bags. Do not listen to people like him. He's scared. He's scared his traditional finance business, that is JP Morgan, will be left behind by DeFi, by all the exciting things that are happening in the crypto space. Okay, for him to say it's used for sex trafficking and money laundering, what do you think? Where did you I think we agree all those things happened before 2008 and 2009 when Satoshi launched Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't think sex trafficking started when Bitcoin started. I don't think all this stuff you're talking about, money laundering, only just recently happened. No, this stuff has been going on and has been going on through fiat currency. The only difference is with crypto, it's actually traceable, right? And so let's just leave that there for Mr. Old Man Jamie Dimon. More interestingly, more positively, let's listen to this legend, Tommy Lee. Let's have a listen to what he has to say.
Inflation expectations are back to pre-pandemic. So if consumers aren't expecting inflation to reaccelerate, and housing and cars, which has essentially been 86% of the change in inflation, if those are normalizing, and housing doesn't have to be negative, it just has to grow at 3%. And as you know, used cars could fall, like as much as 30% in the next 12 months. You don't really have much behind inflation. So I'd be surprised.
So it was transitory. That's
Yeah.
that's what you're saying. It was transitory all along. It was, yes. It wasn't, it was, it is, it wasn't it. So now we decided we're back to that. Okay, so just to end on, give me your
listen to this.
Your 1 year and 5 year price target for Bitcoin?
I think in the next 12 months, something over 100,000, maybe 150,000.
150, doubling up.
In the next 5 years, again, there's a finite supply, and now we have a potentially huge increase in demand with a spot Bitcoin approval. So I think in 5 years, something around 500,000 would be potentially achievable.
$500,000 Bitcoin. This could be really, really interesting. By the way, guys, if you aren't following me on Twitter, at RealIjaz1 is where you're going to get the up-to-date updates, but during the day. So make sure you're following me there. Make sure you're in our Telegram. The link is in the chat. It's ijazcrypto.com/TG, and the link is in the description as well. So make sure you're in our Telegram community. Let's watch the Bitcoin price action. Just having a little bit of a dump here as we were watching those Twitter videos here. Look at this big dump here, fall of 1% just here in a 5-minute candle, which is insane. Seeing a little bit of volume pickup. I wonder what news is being shared there. That's quite a significant candle there. Let's just see if we're getting any news. I'm just listening in on the news.
For yields and ultimately for fixed income as a whole.
Nope, they're still waffling over there, so they're not talking about Bitcoin just yet. Let's see who else we got in the chat. Naman, good to see you, buddy. Now, everybody thinks it's sell the news. Can it be a turnaround like Kathy Wood says? It might not be. Look, there's look at this. Everything's dumping here, guys. I wonder what's going on here. Anybody got any news? What is going on here? Whoa, 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 whoa. Bitcoin loses 45,000 just there. What have we heard? Any fake news going around? Let's have a look on my trusted mobile device. Nope, nothing yet. Not seen anything. SEC says FBI is investigating yesterday's hack on X. Well, it wasn't a hack on X, right? You didn't secure your password of your Twitter account. So you can't blame X and try to use clever language. SEC. Apparently SEC are going to protect US investors. Yep, they're going to protect US investors from fraud when they can't even protect their own password. And look how much fraud they've just cost. They just manipulated the market yesterday completely. So we're getting a bit of a sell-off here. So if anyone sees anything, do let me know. Let's have a look on Twitter as well. Let's type in Bitcoin ETF. I think there's a hashtag going. There we go. Let's go for this one. This is all old news. Ignore that. We covered that off together, didn't we? Okay, nothing new just yet, but we are seeing the price selling off. I wonder what's going on here. Let's see what you guys are saying. Atom, the only trading I do is for O2 for CO2, hold Bitcoin. Naman, sometimes trade for your normal audience. Also, you're all my audience for tier. Large amounts of Bitcoin transferred to Coinbase. Interesting. Not surprised by that, right? Like, because obviously people want to make preparations for the ETF. Whale alert. Around $550 million of BTC. Okay, interesting, Fatih. Thanks for sharing that. But that's a decent amount. But it's also Ethereum dumping as well. Let's see if traditional markets are dumping. Nope, traditional markets are strong. So the S&P is okay. It's a crypto-specific bit of a throw-up here on the 5-minute chart. Nothing to be too worried about, but we'll just keep watching this in the lead up to the ETF. Let's see what the suits are saying over there.
This is the close on Bloomberg.
Did art conservation help you in any way to be a better investor? And should a lot of good investors who are learning?
All right, let's leave them. They're clearly not doing much. And let's take a look at if we can find anything on the whale alert. Whale alert. 41 million. Let's see if there's another one that everyone's talking about. No, nothing since that one, guys. I'm not sure what. I guess if you add all these up, maybe. Is that what everybody's worried about? 200 million Bitcoin 1 hour ago, transferred from unknown wallet to Coinbase. 60 million USDT transferred from Tether to Kraken. Some rich boys out there, rich boys moving around some money. Let's just get back onto this hashtag. Okay, so another thing I just want to quickly cover off is don't be surprised by tomorrow, right? So obviously everybody's focused on the Bitcoin spot ETF, rightly so, and tomorrow maybe we'll be able to trade the Bitcoin spot ETF. But you've also tomorrow got your CPI reading, okay? So make sure you pay attention tomorrow. I will be covering it off in my video as per normal, so make sure you're subscribed. This can move the markets. It still continues to be a very, very big narrative that interest rates are coming down. Markets are expecting a pause at this meeting at the end of this month on the 31st of January. 1 second, let me switch over. What they got a bit of breaking
Michael
news
McKee,
here.
our chief international and economics correspondent, joining us right now for more. Mike, what do we know?
Well, Roman, John Williams stirring the entrails a little bit, not making a lot of news, but basically saying that the Fed is done
that's why the market's probably upset.
rates, that rates are restrictive enough to bring inflation down to its
So we've got Fed official coming out saying, look, we've still got much more work to do. So maybe that's what's causing a little bit of unease in the market. But you're seeing that dip being brought up here. That makes a lot of sense.
Some of the optimistic talk that we've heard from some Fed members about rate cuts, but not ready to subscribe to that, not ready to suggest it's going to happen, says they've got to have more evidence before they can consider cutting interest rates. He does push back on Dallas Fed President Lori Logan's assertion that it's time for the Fed to start thinking about slowing or tapering QT, saying we're not near that point yet. Now, that'll be a kind of an interesting discussion point because everybody looks to Logan as sort of the expert on the balance sheet since she ran the open market operations at the New York Fed. Williams appears to disagree with her about when they are going to be able to start tapering that. But the basic message is that the Fed is not yet ready to start talking about cutting rates. Williams, of course, is seen as a sort of reflection of what Chairman Jay Powell is thinking.
Yeah, it was the balance sheet discussion that caught my eye. Just to reiterate there, Williams saying that the Fed doesn't seem close to the point of slowing asset runoff. You can.
Okay, guys, just to fill you in on what's going on there, just markets getting a little bit upset by one of the Fed officials, one of the closer ones to Jerome Powell, coming up and saying, look, we don't seem close to the point of slowing the asset runoff. We've still got work to do. We've got to get inflation down to 2%. So just coming out with a bit of hawkish activity. That makes sense why it moves the chart on the 5-minute, right? But when you zoom out, of course, we're sat here on the 5-minute, but when we zoom out, you know, it's not massive shakes at all. It's just a little bit of a dip. This stuff happens intraday when you're trading, when news comes out. So I wouldn't be too alarmed by that specifically. But we continue to wait to see if we get a Bitcoin spot ETF. Bitcoin spot ETF. Are you guys going to buy an ETF? Would you guys buy more Bitcoin if you were backed by the protection of an ETF, or does it not make a difference to you? Let me know in the comments. Because I think I'd probably buy some more, maybe. I mean, obviously, I'm not scared to buy Bitcoin natively, but I'm just trying to think, if you're an institution or if you wanted to buy some in the company or if you had some investment vehicle, things become a lot easier. And I think it'd be easier to get family members involved in crypto as well. Like, for example, you think about the family member who, you know, I know youngsters now who struggle to download wallets. They struggle to download, you know, Binance or BitGet or Bybit or all the links in the description. And they just can't buy Bitcoin. They struggle to then on-ramp their fiat currency. And now you can just say, hey, just go to your favorite broker. Like, just go to whatever broker you're using. Use Robinhood. Use whatever you're using, right? Vanguard, and just get yourself exposure to the Bitcoin spot ETF, and you got the same thing. So you can definitely understand why it's going to be a big turning point for markets, right? It's gonna be a big turning point for Bitcoin. It's gonna be one of the things which we kind of look back on. Maybe you tell your kids or maybe even your grandkids, right? I was there when the Bitcoin spot ETF was launched, just like somebody would have said that for the S&P ETF, right? somebody was there. Right, we've got some Bloomberg action. Let's switch on over.
Investors. Our very own Eric Balchunas at Bloomberg Intelligence says some of the calls to reject the ETF applications because of concern about the risk of retail investors is overblown. He makes the point that right now retail investors can already get exposure to crypto in a multitude of ways that are way more flawed than any regulated exchange-traded fund. Our next guest, though, begs to disagree. Dennis Kelleher joining us right now. He's the CEO of Better Markets. It's a nonprofit focused on financial policy. All right, Dennis, let's start there here. When we talk about the potential addition of risk for investors who maybe gravitate to these ETFs here, is there something materially different between the risk they would face after an approval of an ETF relative to what they have now in trying to acquire Bitcoin or any crypto asset?
Well, the risks they face don't change. People need to remember that no matter what the SEC does today, we're talking about a fundamentally worthless financial product. Tomorrow and yesterday, Bitcoin will still have no legitimate use. Yesterday and tomorrow, it will remain the preferred financial product for speculators, gamblers, and criminals. It will still be a cesspool of fraud, manipulation, and criminality. And you don't have to take my word. I mean, we put Better Markets detailed study after study in the letters and discussions with the SEC. There's a comprehensive study of 29 exchanges, for example, that showed that as much as 77.5% of the total trading volume of unregulated exchanges was due to wash trading. Yeah. That's going to continue. The other thing that's going to continue is no effective cop on the beat. So the CFTC is supposed to be the one monitoring the spot Bitcoin market.
Right.
It's got a tiny budget. It's understaffed. There's no cop on the beat there. Those things are not going to change, and those are going to threaten many, many more investors.
Well, let me ask you why that wouldn't change. I mean, wouldn't just the default of having a regulated instrument to have this put the onus on regulators to actually step up to the plate? I mean, they can't just approve this and then step back and say, okay, you're all left to your own devices.
Well, one would think that, and Romain, you put your finger on it. That's exactly what investors are going to think. They're going to take false comfort in thinking the SEC approval and probably interpret that as a de facto approval of crypto and Bitcoin itself rather than just the ETF. And they're going to think, well, they would never do that without having investor protection and the proper regulation. But that's not true. The ETF itself, which will be regulated by the SEC, will in fact be regulated, but that's only the vehicle that's being used to make crypto much more available to investors. The underlying spot market, however, is where the trading happens, and all the prices on the ETF is going to be based on the spot trading. The spot trading market is not regulated. There's no effective cop there. That's where the fraud is. People need to understand that they're not buying a crypto token. They're literally buying a chip that you would get at a casino. This is not an investment that anybody usually gets. As to Eric's point, Romain,
Dennis, actually, we're up against a break here. Apologies for cutting you off here. We will check in with you very soon again, I'm sure. Dennis Kelleher over at Better Markets as we await that potential decision by the SEC on a spot Bitcoin ETF. We'll be back in a moment. This is Bloomberg.
What a ludicrous statement for him to make, and I don't know why people like him just keep getting airtime. We heard from Jamie Dimon earlier on this live stream, and now from this guy as well. It's just ludicrous arguments they make. It's just such silly arguments. I mean, if they genuinely cared about the investor, the anchor made such a good point, right? Isn't it better that they buy Bitcoin through a registered security that is a Bitcoin spot ETF, regulated by the SEC with all the surveillance mechanisms that you want, versus them going onto MetaMask and buying some? If you actually cared that was the reason that you protected investors. You don't care about investors. You just care that you don't have a bag, right? If you had a bag, then suddenly you would care. So Dean Bryan says, I bet that guy still has a black and white TV. You lot are funny. XRP Falcon, good to see you. It's been a while indeed. Ian said he's so pissed off that he missed Bitcoin Ethereum. Now he's bitter. Yeah, he's proper bitter. So, yeah, look, I'm just seeing... Let me just see if I can see any updates for you guys. I saw one post here that somebody just said that on Bloomberg they've marked all the ETFs as pending listing, which is interesting. So everyone's making their preparations, right? So we're seeing a bunch of different CBOE, Bloomberg, various other people, because if they've been told that confidentially that you're good to go from tomorrow, then they've got to get their systems in place, right? They've got to press a button overnight and allow people to start buying Bitcoin, because it's going to be a competitive place. If they approve a bunch in a row, which most likely they're going to do, then the competition starts with the fees and making sure people can easily get access to it. So that race is going to begin. Let's just see if there's any other news here for you guys. Not just yet. Maybe it won't come while we're on stream today. Maybe it'll come as soon as we end the stream. So maybe we should end the stream quicker to bring the ETF listing quicker. But nope. It's showing in the Fidelity app now as well, so you can start seeing the ETF tickers in Fidelity. You can see on the CBOE, like we said. Interesting. It's got to be imminent. It's got to be imminent now. Can't be. I don't think it's too long. Could be the next hour. Could be the next 2 hours. I got a feeling it's going to be today. That's my gut feeling. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. People like that are why we are going way higher. Justin, airplanes are interesting toys, but of no military value. Yeah, exactly. And like loads of people are like that, right? They always stamp on innovation. They said, oh, we're never going to use a telephone. There's like people who said we'll never use a car, or like we got horses, like that's the whole point about early adoption. And particularly for us guys in this community, we're all here early. Like, it's going to be interesting because if you were here in this period of time, it's going to be remembered as simply as this. Like, you'll be able to look back and say, I was one of those people that bought Bitcoin before an ETF. It'll be like a clear demarcation. Like, you are either pre-ETF era or you are post. And like every time Bitcoin gets easier and easier for people to use, like through an ETF, through more on-ramps, through all the other things that are eventually going to become easier, the price is going to go up. Right? You have to take pain and get in something early in order to seek out value. You get the value for taking the risk, for being in the unknown. Once Bitcoin's easy to buy and it's all regulated and it's insurance backed, maybe it's FDIC backed in the US and whatever, then obviously the price is going to go up. It's going to be too safe an asset class, and then your returns are going to be less and less and less. So, these are the early days where you're going to look back and remember and be like, oh, I bought pre-ETF. That is insane. You guys took a crazy risk. So you were buying on MetaMask back in the day. You were doing all this. Yeah, we were early. Wesley, good to see you. Many thanks for the live stream. Curious what the news will be. Greetings from the Netherlands. Gotta love you, Dutch guys. Thank you for joining. Sherlock, BTC is a swinger. Yeah. Sunshine, thank you for bringing this to everybody's attention. Ijaz, you're the man. Appreciate you. Umed says, nope, you are late. I don't know what he's talking about. He's probably just joined and he's probably half drunk. Rich, maybe, when people learn about the value, they will ape. The longer people hear no value, means a lot of buyers yet to enter. That's just the truth, right? The average person, if you look at how much the average person holds of, let's say, gold or silver, or how they hold the S&P ETF, right? Compared to what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin's nowhere near, just does not have the adoption close to that. So you can imagine when all these people start funneling their easy through spot ETFs and through their wealth advisors, like, it's just going to see a move. And it's like I'm saying in previous videos, this move will not happen because everybody suddenly believes in Bitcoin. No, it's not that suddenly overnight when a Bitcoin spot ETF, every billionaire and millionaire and every single person on the sun now suddenly believes in Bitcoin because the switch was turned on. What it means is that everybody suddenly starts going, hang on, this is a real asset class. It's listed as a spot ETF. It's listed under, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. I can just buy it through my wealth advisor. And so suddenly you've got these highly rich wealth individuals who are sitting there going, hang on, this asset class is not going away. Maybe I should stop ignoring it and putting 1%, 2%, maybe 3 to 5% of my portfolio into Bitcoin, right? And as they put a little bit of money, guess what? When you put money into something, what does it force you to do? Learn about it, research about it, invest a bit more into it. Maybe they play around with Bitcoin. Maybe they set up a little crypto company, some of these rich people, and they start learning about the asset class, adding, building, and that's how the ecosystem grows, okay? So do not underestimate the long-term value that a Bitcoin spot ETF has. It's a huge, watershed moment for crypto, and one that the SEC was reluctant to provide because they know fundamentally how big a deal it is. Once it does get approved, what it means for the space, what it means for crypto adoption. It's a big deal, right? Now, of course, when it gets announced, Might see a little pump, see a dump, see it move around. But eventually, longer term, I think it sets us up for a really powerful 2024. And that's one of the reasons I'm excited, right? We've had a long bear market. We've had a painful bear market. A lot of you guys have been watching my daily videos with me. Shout out to you guys if you've been through the bear market with me, supporting me when nobody was watching any videos. But we kept DCAing, right? We kept buying. We're buying Bitcoin at 15,500. We're buying our favorite altcoins. We kept our conviction. We grew our community. Hopefully you guys are jumping into my Telegram group as well, ijazcrypto.com/TG. The link will be in the description. And that's the beauty of crypto space. You just keep building, keep going. And eventually over time then you start to see the fruits. And that's the same for Bitcoin as well. Let's jump into the traditional market close to see if that brings us any closer to what we need.
Well, definitely more green than red on the screen behind me, led by communication services up by about 1.1%, followed by consumer discretionary also up about 0.9%. Tech as well, having a pretty good Wednesday. You look down the list, what's not doing too well. Consumer staples, materials, both off slightly, and then energy having another bad day, off by 1.2%. That would be the third day of losses, Romain.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at, I guess, some of the bright sides out there. Home builders actually doing well today. Lennar up about 3%. At one point on the day, it was actually trading at a record high. This on the back of a buyback authorization. We should point out we are expected to get earnings out of KB Home a little bit later tonight. So keep an eye on the home builder space, which of course has been, at least the stocks have been one of the big bright spots here for the market over the past few months. Meanwhile, iRobot taking a huge leg down just over the last hour or so, down about 20% here. This after a filing deadline. This is the filing deadline over in the European Union for Amazon to submit its remedies in order to close the acquisition of iRobot. Bloomberg is reporting that apparently Amazon skipped that deadline. We don't have a lot more information about it, but what we do know, as of right now here, late in the evening over there in Europe, there has still not been a remedy filed. Investors getting spooked by that. Investors also spooked by an interesting note out over at BMO Capital that suggested that we're headed for an interesting down cycle in credit. You combine that with economic conditions that are a bit worrying for some folks here. That led to a downgrade of a lot of financial stocks, including Capital One and American Express. American Express cut to underweight. And of course, all eyes right now on the crypto universe. Katie Greifeld, Coinbase, down about 1% on the day.
Well, on that topic, let's get back to Bitcoin, because the Chamber of Digital Commerce is calling for a congressional hearing on yesterday's breach of the SEC's X account. Now, in a letter to lawmakers, the group said, quote, "This incident has caused investor harm and questions the robustness of the SEC's cybersecurity measures." Also casts a shadow over their role as an effective regulator. Joining us now is Perianne Boring. She is the founder and CEO of the Chamber of Digital Commerce. And let's talk about that a little bit more. What would you want to hear should a hearing actually go and take place?
Yesterday's event was totally unprecedented, probably preventable, and it led to a lot of harm. Over the course of just a couple of minutes, there were over $90 million worth of liquidations yesterday. There was true investor harm due to this cybersecurity social media incident, and it's absolutely critical that we get transparency and real answers. Congress's job is to oversee the SEC, and we fully expect Congress to exercise their oversight powers in this very unfortunate incident yesterday.
And so, of course, that was yesterday. Today, of course, we're expecting the actual decision there. Talk to us a little bit about what this would mean for the industry. Obviously, this is something that's more than a decade in the making. At this point, if you wanted Bitcoin access, is it safe to say you would have found it by now? How important will this Bitcoin ETF actually be?
This is an incredible and historic moment for Bitcoin for a number of reasons. For one, it took 10 years to get here. For over 10 years, Bitcoin funds have been working to bring spot Bitcoin ETFs to market, and they were blocked for over a decade. It literally took the industry taking the SEC to court. The industry won, which really paved the way and forced the SEC's hand for the approvals that we're expecting today. So So just to overcome that incredible journey of the SEC being charged with being arbitrary and capricious and really bringing to light that they've discriminated against Bitcoin as an asset class is one important victory. But also what's so important about spot Bitcoin ETFs is it allows for Bitcoin to be accessible to so many more people. ETFs are one of the most popular investment vehicles for both retail and institutional investors. Over $7 trillion are invested in ETFs currently. Now people will be able to get exposure and be able to allocate to the best performing asset in the market today, and doing it with the support and the advice of their financial advisors. Because we did not have publicly listed spot Bitcoin products, investors would have to navigate this interesting and different world of cryptocurrency on their own. And now they will be able to be guided with the financial advisory, which is so critical for mainstream adoption.
So Perry-Ann, I am curious about what comes next here. I mean, we obviously know the dozen or so applications out there right now that we're at least anticipating will probably be approved alongside ARK and 21 shares. Do you anticipate, A, that we'll see a material increase in filings post whatever decision we get with the assumption that this is approved?
What we expect to see over time as these publicly listed products, spot products, come to market is that the financial advisory will now be a part of Bitcoin. They will now be incentivized to understand how these products work, how Bitcoin works, how the technology works, and to advise their clients on how to allocate best in their portfolios. So over time, we expect to see very large demand on Bitcoin because it is the best performing asset. It was up over 150% last year. It has been the best performing asset in the market 11 out of the past 14 years since its inception. So we fully expect to see a lot more people to become truly educated and empowered to invest in Bitcoin. And this also will pave the way for additional cryptocurrency ETFs over time.
What's the differentiation, if at all, that we see, or does that not matter in terms of the different products?
Well, Bitcoin is very different than other cryptocurrencies. We already have ETH futures ETFs that are trading and ETH futures that have been trading for years. So the next ETF that we would expect to see would be a spot ETH ETF. Ethereum is very different than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is digital money. It's peer-to-peer money. Ethereum is a smart contracts platform. Ethereum also has a lot of competitors. There's many other smart contracts platforms that are all vying to be the key platform. Bitcoin, as digital gold, has won that application, has the lead market cap, and will always be in that winning position. So they serve very different technical roles, but also very promising.
Perry-Ann, I do want to get a little bit philosophical here and just zoom out a little bit, because you think about some of the original promises of crypto, you know, getting away from governments, decentralization, going bankless. And I don't know, it seems like there's a certain irony that there's so much hype and hopes and dreams pinned to the fact that maybe we'll get spot Bitcoin ETFs. It feels in some ways that it goes against the original mission of crypto.
ETFs are very different products than just buying Bitcoin directly. Until spot Bitcoin ETFs are approved, you know, really the only way to get exposure to Bitcoin is to invest in it directly. However, because Bitcoin is is secured by cryptography, in order to invest in it directly, you have to understand how asymmetric cryptography works. You have to understand how to protect your private keys, becoming your own custodian. That is a feat that some people don't necessarily want to overcome, or that's just too big of a hurdle for some investors. So having a financial product that's listed on a publicly traded stock exchange, where you don't have to worry about things like custody, this is going to allow different people to have access to it. Are there pros and cons to an ETF? Absolutely. Are you self-custodying? No, you're not. Self-custody brings a whole other set of benefits, but also risk. So we think in a healthy ecosystem, in a healthy marketplace, you need different types of products for different types of investors with different types of needs.
All right, Perry-Ann, gotta leave it there. Really appreciate your time. That is Perry-Ann Boring. She is Chamber of...
Right, really nice session there. She explained it really well, right? Like that really does sum up exactly what it is. Like we got to understand that maybe some of us hardcore crypto people we want to take self-custody, right? We want to take our crypto out. We want to put it on a trust wallet. We want to put it on a ledger or a Trezor. We feel comfortable doing that. We're early adopters. But the vast majority of the population is not like that. Most people do not keep cash under their beds, right? With a gun next to them. That's not what they do. The average person keeps it in a bank account. The average person wants FDIC insurance. They want the bank to take care of their money. And, you know, they're willing to take that risk. And so you need a range of different products. You need exchanges where people can leave money. You need regulated exchanges like Coinbase. You need ETFs, right? You need different ways for people to get exposure to the underlying asset classes. Why you have all these other derivatives for every other asset. So, you know, the arguments, you know, the TradFi guys are making are pretty poorly formed, because this is all just normal stuff you've seen with every other asset class, right? You launch it, you get a futures ETF, you get a spot ETF, you allow different people to get exposure to it on their balance sheet based on the way they want to get exposure to it, and you keep things moving, right? So yeah, she definitely covered that off very, very well and articulately. And in the meantime, nothing else has come up. Now, the other thing I did want to update you guys on is we need to start thinking about what the next narrative is, right? We sit here, we wait for a Bitcoin spot ETF, but let's start thinking about what could be next. Because as soon as we see that announcement happen, we see the price action move and then dump over some time, we will then start seeing different trades start to open up. And the first one we need to ask is what else is in the line to get a spot ETF? If Bitcoin has just got a spot ETF, what else could line itself up? The first argument is going to be, could Ethereum be in the lines, right? We know Ethereum is the natural next one that could potentially get a spot ETF. What about something like XRP? We now know that XRP is the only altcoin out there that has actually had a judge reside over it to say it's not a security, which is very interesting. So XRP is in the mix as far as I'm concerned. I think Solana is in the mix. And I think Cardano, interestingly, has a lot of institutional demand and could be there as well. So those are my kind of bets for what could come next. Now, the other thing to think about is if Bitcoin gets approved for a spot ETF, what's stopping other proof of work plays, right, that are similar, or let's say the forks of Bitcoin, something like Bitcoin Classic, wanting to get a spot ETF as well? Could we see a run-up in Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Single Vision? Could those forks of Bitcoin also see a solidarity move as well? Those are the things that are kind of going on in my head as I start to think about what the moves could be. Let's see what's going on in the charts. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum still looking strong here, 2441. Bitcoin still, even though it's dumping there a little bit on the 5-minute chart, looking nice and strong, right? Nice bounce here from the EMA ribbon, coming in to call off, and maybe it wants to get a bounce here and then start moving on the daily chart. So that's what we're looking for. If you see that on the 4-hourly, you can see exactly what's going on. Struggling to get past, right? It needs to get past that 47.5, sorry, in order to create that higher high and keep this move going here to the upside. That's what we want here on Bitcoin. Now, it doesn't seem like we're going to get an ETF just yet. I think you got another 20 minutes until the market closes. Is that right? If anybody's in America, let me know in the comments. I'll just do a quick Google search. I think it's 20 minutes. I think so. So 4:30 US time here in the UK. No, another hour, another 45 minutes to go before the markets close. So still a while left. Maybe they decide to do it after the market closes. Either way, let's see, right? Let's see what they announce. Let's see what they do. And again, once it is announced, I expect to see the markets really start to pop off. I think we'll get a nice big move here to the upside when it does get announced. And I think there'll be a sell-off thereafter. And then we can start worrying about what's going to happen in terms of the rest of the year, right? Because I think it's going to be a powerful, explosive year. So thanks for joining me, guys, on this live stream. Still no announcement. Let's see how we do. If we do get an announcement later on, I'm still around and still up. I'll jump on for another update to give you guys the update. Is it 20 minutes, guys? Is it 20 minutes? Can you confirm if it's 20 minutes? Are you sure the market's closed in 20 minutes? If it is 20 minutes, let's stick by, right? Let's see if they do something straight after the market, but they still might take time. I thought... Cool. You guys are saying 20 minutes, you guys in America. Good stuff. Okay, cool. Let's hang about then for 20 minutes. Well, I think it's 15 now. So wait, chill 15 minutes. Let's see if there's anything obvious after the close. If nothing, then maybe they want to take an hour or so after. Maybe it could be another... let's see. Let's see. I'm seeing a bunch of people now saying approved. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything yet. You guys falling for stuff again? Would they do it right before the close? They could, and then Coinbase would see a crazy pump. It's approved. Let's see.
Lodge. And the fact that no one was seriously injured or killed is almost just...
Let's see price action. Let's see. Price is always the best indicator. Dumping here to the downside. It's just announced. Everyone's saying it's just announced. Let's see. I'm refreshing as well. I'm waiting for the official, guys. You know, we guys get caught up, right, in this. I'm not. Yeah, I know you guys are getting it on Twitter, but we just have to be careful. We know it can be another hoax, right? So I want to see, is it on the SEC website? Have you guys got the link? Is there an SEC official? Is there an official one on the SEC website? I am starting to see a lot of people talking about it. Official. Bitcoin Magazine tweeted it. SEC approves. Official. Seeing a lot of people tweeting it, guys. Price action dumping here so far. Very interesting that price action's not responding. Again, it's not a big surprise for markets, right? Bloomberg not responding just yet either. They've not said anything. I'm seeing some credible people tweet it. I am, but so did they yesterday, right? We fell for it yesterday, so just going to take an extra couple of minutes here just to make sure we know what we're doing. A lot of people are saying it. Let's see the SEC. Not that the SEC's, their page should really be the one we're using nowadays. Well, not Victoria's Secret. That's not what we wanted. We wanted this one right here. See how they're right next to each other? Gary Gensler. It's a weird guy. Nope, nothing on their page, which obviously gets hacked anyway, so we'll ignore that. So what's the source here? What's the source everyone's using, guys? Alex, you can split your screen. I think you need a paid subscription, but you use the thing here. You just split your screen here. Click this button. You have all your different layouts. Seeing an Ethereum moving here to the upside. Guys, I don't know. You're all saying it's approved. Anyone got an official source? I don't want to jump the gun. Anybody got an official source? I'm still refreshing. Don't want to fall for it like yesterday. Price action also still not moving as well. What do we have? Any credible news? Let's see. Check filing details. Guys, I have trauma. I have ETF approval trauma, so I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Just some tweets. If someone's got the official thing, tweet me. Like, tweet it to me at RealIjaz1, right? And I'll pull it up. Go tweet me. Somebody do it now. If you've got something official. Don't give me some, like, influencer. Something official. Either on the SEC website or, a tweet by Gary Gensler or something like that. Otherwise, I'm not believing any of it. I don't think it's approved just yet. You lot are trying to fool me. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I have trauma. The same on Twitter accounts just pummel it, right? They have no, credibility. They just, say things really quickly. And then there's no, they don't care. Okay, let's check. There's one source here I want to check. DB. This guy's pretty good normally, right? Watch this. Let's take this. This is the main one that I think people are responding to here. Let's open up this link. SEC website. Oops, page not found. Okay, so he's linked to that page. The page is not found. He's now taken all my Bitcoin. It was a scam. Do you know what I mean? It is therefore ordered that the proposals, blah, 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 and hereby are approved on an accelerated basis by the commission. Sounds capped to me. And the link don't work, so how can we... You see that pop off? How can we improve our service? These lot are funny. These lot are funny. Anybody else got anybody else that thinks they've got a source? Let me know. Not seeing anything on Bloomberg. The suits aren't saying anything yet. CoinDesk, anything leading on CoinDesk? Bitcoin ETF confusion abound. That is exactly what it is. Confusion. No clarity. Just a mess. No organization. We don't know what to believe. We don't know if to believe their Twitter account. Don't know if to believe Gary Gensler. Don't know if to believe the suits and traditional finance. Don't know whether to believe our own crypto influencers who just chat rubbish all the time. Man, we're stuck. Golden Surfers just tagged me on Twitter. Let's take a look, see what kind of tweet action we got going on here. You tagged me in crypto banter. I said an official source. Oh my God. But the website's not working. The website's not working. Gotta wait for the website. Gonna wait for the website. Not falling for stuff like this. I want the official source. If you haven't got the official source, I'm not interested. Don't want ketchup. Don't want mayo. Just want the official source. If you ain't got it, it's not approved. And that's why the price is not moving just yet. When we know, the price will tell you. The charts never lie. Well, they do sometimes. They lied yesterday when Gary Gensler got hacked, but there you go. Look at that. Mr. Got Plenty said BlackRock is doing commercials on your channel. Congratulations, you made it, guys. Guys, we made it, guys. BlackRock are advertising on this YouTube channel, which means they're trying to target you because they know you lot are a bunch of filthy whales with high net worth, and they want you to sign up to buy some Bitcoin with them and buy some ETFs with them. Mazda says, you're right. Let's wait for the official announcement. Yes. We're not going to fall for it. Not going to fall for it today. Like, everybody knows, right? Around this time when markets closing, etc., they kind of get excited. They start, spreading some rumors. That's when they're going to get maximum traction, and Twitter accounts can get extra followers and stuff like that. Losay said he tagged me as well. Let's take a look. All right, bunch of tag action from you guys. Good stuff. Let's see what you got. Approved, I guess. Okay, latest findings received and processed. Doesn't say approved anywhere here. Doesn't say approved anywhere here. These are CBOE. So they are listed on the CBOE. That's not the issue. CBOE can list. If it's not approved by the SEC, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, so this link, does it work? Let's have a look. It's taking all my Bitcoin. See? You lot. But did they make another mistake? Was that link working and it said approved and then it's gone to oops? Maybe they've duped us again. Maybe Gary Gensler did it again. That would be so funny. That'd be so funny because everybody's sharing the same link and it goes to a dead page. Maybe they did. Maybe they approved it and everybody thought it was approved again. Oh, we've been duped twice. They've taken us for fools, man. They are taking us for fools out here. Okay, so Watcher Guru has gone again with SEC approved first Bitcoin spot ETF, but they fell for it yesterday too. That was one of the credible sources I thought I was looking at yesterday. Not convinced just yet, guys. Gonna give it another couple of minutes. Let's have a look. I promise I do want it approved. It's just gotta be patient. See, look at the run up on Ethereum, guys. I'm telling you, once this gets approved, Ethereum's gonna jump. There you go. Ethereum's gone. Look at that. It's gone again. Breaking resistance. Like, Ethereum's gonna be quite powerful as soon as it gets announced officially. They're going to announce the approval after the markets close. Yeah, that could be a natural time for them to do it, is after the markets close. The question is when, right? Half an hour. Fox Business announced approvals. Are they now? This says accepted. Keep tagging me, guys. Keep tagging me at RealIjaz01 on Twitter with credible sources. Right? Credible sources. No peri-peri sauce. No barbecue sauce. Just real credible sources. Don't give me no crypto banter and stuff like that. Some real sources. Yeah? Not Crypto Rover. Not that guy. Not any. Give me some credible sources and I'll believe it. Otherwise, I don't believe it. How do you see the markets? That's what we've been speaking about for the last hour, man. Like, I see the markets kind of, getting excited, having a bit of green, selling off within the hour or 2 hours maybe, and then dump. Could dump for a good couple of days, maybe dump the rest of this week, because, sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news. Anticlimax, kind of have a bit of a dump, but longer term we're good. So it's a big day. People are going to want to buy Bitcoin. That will start bringing buy action coming through, right? Because people are going to go buy ETF exposure. Yeah, please don't give me a BitBoy source, man. God damn. See, it's crazy, isn't it? It's like what people do for views. Like someone like BitBoy, instead of just giving credible content, he's just going and standing outside the SEC office with a plaque. He's just doing YouTube stuff. That's just not what I do here, guys. Just giving you content, giving you real content. WJ says yes, it was working. Did anybody get a screenshot of that SEC page? I wonder if they messed up again. Did anybody get a screenshot of this? See? It's all gone. It's gone. Everybody give me the same link, but it's not approved yet. It's not approved yet. We'll be patient. Bloomberg are talking about the healthcare sector. They couldn't even care less about Bitcoin at this point. They only care when it matters to them. Bitcoin's quite steady here at 45.7. Likes this area for comfort. Ethereum's eager to go, right? Like Ethereum's like, let me out. As soon as that Bitcoin ETF gets announced, I think Ethereum gets a good move to the upside towards that 2600. I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of wants to run up to 2600. That could be a nice little trade or move on Ethereum. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I think the SEC should investigate the SEC for market manipulation, and then the SEC should bring the full power of the SEC to prosecute the SEC. Yes, I agree. We need to do some SEC inception. Sherlock says, I think they have till 4 p.m. Gary Gensler needs to be home for dinner by 5. You look funny. Justin Frank says on Fox Business TV, live SEC has approved all. Interesting. Again, I need an official source, guys. You know, Fox Business has been wrong plenty of times. No Signal says, I was here when old man had less than 1K subs. Like a boss. Appreciate you, No Signal. You've definitely been around for a long time. Appreciate you. As is Digital D. Fortune Magazine reports approved. Lots of people, guys. Bitcoin Magazine tweeted it as well. A lot of credible sources are tweeting it. And again, I think SEC's messed up again. I think they literally let that link out. That was an official link. And they've just taken it down. Unbelievable. Let's take a look at Watcher Guru. What are Watcher Guru doing? Let's see. 54 seconds ago. Breaking. SEC officially approves all Bitcoin spot ETFs. Where did they get this from? They screenshotted it off that website, but the website's not working anymore. Man, this makes everything so complicated. Again, is the price action moving? No. This is going to be the worst ETF announcement ever. Like, you know when you like sign a new player for a football team or a basketball, like an NBA team, and you have the big announcement and you have like a promo video playing, he comes out, his entrance music, the fire, the pyrotechnics. Like, this is like someone's pressed all the buttons at the wrong time, nobody cares, the promo video doesn't play, the fireworks played 30 seconds earlier, the entrance music is not working. What a joke. They've kind of taken all the fun out of this. And just maybe they've done it on purpose. Maybe they want to do it to stop the pump and they're really trying to dampen the mood here on Bitcoin. Look, they can dampen it as much as they want. This is a big day for Bitcoin. As soon as it gets approved, I couldn't care less about a short-term pump. I couldn't care less what it does today, this week, even this month. I just care about 2024, 2025. It's going to be huge for Bitcoin. Sharavan even says, I got a PDF download from that link. Steve says the only ETF in history that'll be approved 3 times. Yeah, I know, man. It's like 3rd time now. What is going on? Like, Watcher Guru's gone again with the news, but to be honest, like, they don't really care, right? Like, they're happy to post it as many times as they want. They just want to get it right because they want to be speed, right? So they're happy to get it wrong and then post it again and be wrong because they just want to be the first one there. But I just need to see a link. This is all old, the CBOE stuff. Keep tweeting me, guys, at RealIjaz1 if you think you have an official source. Fatir with a link here. Yeah, so this is what was on the website, right? The one that's now down. This is what was on the official website. Let's have a read. Pursuant to section blah, blah, blah. NASDAQ stock market, CBOE exchange, together with the new decision, file the Securities Commission, pros rule change following, blah, blah, blah. To list and trade. Okay. Again, I want to. Why would they take it down? Right? It just doesn't make sense. Dave B. Gensler doesn't want any fanfare. That's true. To add to his humiliation. FX Street also reported all approved. Everybody's saying it. Everybody's saying it's all approved. But the problem is, the SEC won't do something simple, which is give us a simple tweet, not hacked, and give us a tweet from Gary Gensler's page, and give us the official SEC page where you've approved it. It's not complicated. Don't put something up and then take it down. Everybody's sharing the same link, and then it's taken down. Right? It's not there. Are they going to put it back up after the close? right? Like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Some people think Crypto Twitter has crashed this website. It's not crashed. Crash would be it wouldn't load. It just says not found. They've moved the page. It's not, they've deleted the page. See what I mean? Like, it's just a PDF, 2024 PDF. So if you've downloaded that PDF, maybe it's got some documentation in there. Maybe people are misreading it and it's another, not hoax, but people trying to trick each other again. But it's working. It's confusing the market again. So, yes. Mystical Plenty, Ijaz, after the ETF is approved, at what price points are you going to be buying Bitcoin up until what price? I'll keep buying Bitcoin. I'll keep DCAing into Bitcoin. As long as it's in a nice upwards trend, I'll buy from areas of support. Okay, we've got 7 seconds till the market close.
On this Wednesday afternoon, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 160 points as we wait for these numbers to settle. No matter how they settle, that's going to be good for a gain of roughly about 0.4% here on the day. The S&P 500 up about 0.6% or about 27 points. The NASDAQ Composite clocking in with a gain of about 112 points or 0.8%. And the Russell 2000, which had been oscillating between gains and losses, looks like it's going to end the day with a gain of 0.1%.
All right, so digging a little bit deeper into the S&P 500 specifically, almost an even split, but a little bit of the tone to kind of the risk on trade. 276 names gaining in today's session, Scarlett, 225 to the downside, and we've got 2 unchanged.
Yeah, the definite bias to the upside if you look at the sector breakdown in the S&P 500. Your 3 best performing groups: retailers, software companies, media and entertainment. On the downside, you've got energy, food, beverage and tobacco, and auto companies.
All right, let's get to some of the individual gainers in today's session. Meta, seeing that among the top gainers in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100, up about 3.6%, hitting a 52-week high in today's session. Bond trading, by the way, also jumping to more than twice its average. So a lot of activity on both the equity and bond side of that company. Mizuho Securities raising its price target on the company to $470 from $400. Stock closing at $370 and change. They talked about 3 catalysts, specifically including a conservative consensus for sales growth, expectations of guidance on operating expenditures going down over the fiscal year, and then they talked about WhatsApp messaging could increase the revenue base by a third by using AI to automate customer service.
Guys, this is just ludicrous. Like, what are the SEC doing? Like, seriously, what are they doing? Like, I can't believe this. So they get hacked yesterday. They get a fake announcement yesterday, liquidate a bunch of people. Today, they put up a website, which everybody then circulates, says it's approved. And then, then the website's gone down now. Like, it just does not make sense. This website's still not working. Let's see if you guys are tweeting me another link. Unbelievable. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Nope, it's not working, guys. It's not working. Zach is saying ChatGPT summary of the PDF. Yes, the ETF was approved. Yeah, look, that PDF said it was approved. So they've even got an official PDF. I think they've leaked it again. I cannot believe it. That is unbelievable manipulation. They've really got to get investigated. This is insane. Can you imagine how much money someone is making knowing this stuff is going on? Like, how is that okay? They're supposed to protect investors, and this is 2 of the biggest mess-ups in crypto's history. Right? In crypto's history, 2 of the biggest mess-ups in crypto's history. I don't know. Some people are saying the link is working for them, but then the Bitcoin price is not moving. Why are we not getting any excitement in the price action if it's official? I don't think it's official. The SEC should just tweet it with the link to that page, and then we know, okay, that whoever did get that page is right. Otherwise, it just does not make sense. Nope, it's not loading up on mine. I'll try it on another device. Oh, Gary Gensler, you really have ruined this one, haven't you? Nope, same on the other devices. Same on the other devices. Page cannot be found. Like, why would you not just have it up? Like, and by the way, I'm not buying this about the overload on the page. Like, there's not going to be a crazy overload. Like, SEC are used to a lot of people coming onto their website for certain announcements. Look at this. SEC posts order approving Bitcoin and then it disappears from website. Exactly. 22-page document wasn't available for long. Now, can somebody give me that PDF? Fatih, I see you in the comments. Like, can you upload it somewhere and send me the link? Upload it somewhere and send me the link on Twitter. And let's take a look at that PDF. Let's see what it says. And a 22-page PDF approving Exchange 19.4b filings went live on the SEC website shortly before 4 p.m. The link later led to a 404 page. The SEC did not immediately respond to an email asking about that document. You can't write this stuff. You cannot write this stuff. Confusion abounds a couple of hours ago. Then 9 p.m. It's making me laugh. Fatih now says he can't open it. Hobo has posted in the chat that it's been rejected. Trading View says it was approved. What a joke. They're trying to, Reckless Danny says they're trying to downplay it so the market doesn't pump. Exactly. There's manipulation. This is the definition of manipulation. This is what SEC investigates day in and day out, and they're doing it. They are creating more manipulation in the Bitcoin market than we have seen in all of 2023. They've created the biggest manipulation this year. So for them to come out and say this is the Wild Wild West, look at what you're doing. Absolute jokers. Absolute write-offs. Poor America. Ethereum's popping off. Remember, that's probably the narrative of the ETF. Like we did say, a lot of that money will flow to Ethereum. Ethereum's gone. Nice move here by Ethereum. Moving from this wick down here. That's a nice little 3.6% spot trade. It's a clean move, guys. Clean move. Jim Cramer tweeted Bitcoin to the moon. That's not fun. Hobo Traveler saying that it's delayed. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, exactly. Kind of strange how we need protection from the people who are supposed to be financially protecting us. This is insane. This is such major manipulation to ruin such a major announcement like this. I mean, Ethereum's still popping off, by the way, here, guys. Up 6.43% on the day now. Bitcoin's still neutral on the day. And now the markets are pretty much officially closed. So, well, they are closed. So now we just need to wait to see if Gary Gensler wants to make an announcement before he goes home for his tea. Probably going to have bangers and mash with his missus and kids. Nothing wrong with that. But doesn't seem like a, like a peri-peri kind of guy. Doesn't look like he wants some spice in his meal. Probably keep it nice and bland. Bit of water, bit of bread. Brom says they are corrupt AF, just making their own gains. Too much money riding on it. Can't never be clean. Rich Maybe says this is preventing headline volume, algo trading, and other things that happen when major news headlines are published. Absolutely. They're completely wrecking everybody. Any of the algo traders, any trader in the market right now just does not know what to do. Normally they have their trade with their liquidation points and they've got a clear trade. They've messed everything up. People are taking leverage off. Yesterday, 250 million of leverage wrecked. Ethereum's gone, guys. Told you, past 2,500. This could easily reach 2,600 if we get the formal announcement and it's out. Something's coming up now, guys. Bitcoin's moving as well. Do we now have the news? Is it official? Do we have the news? Is it official? Is it official? Nope. That PDF, darn PDF, still not opening, guys. What is one to do? Bloomberg's not talking about it. I've got Bloomberg here. I've got everything else here, mainstream media. I've got Twitter here. And we cannot find something super simple like when is this ETF going to get approved? Unbelievable. Gary Gensler say anything? Let's see what Suits are saying.
Including awaiting potentially that announcement by the SEC, as well as the conversation about what's going on in the fixed income space. Alex Petrone, Director of Fixed Income over at Rockefeller Asset Management. She's going to be joining us right after the break. This is Bloomberg.
Okay, so now somebody else in the comments is saying it's approved. It's a fun game, isn't it? Got some. Tweet me, guys. Tweet me with official sources. Sheldon Sniper is not an official source. This is not official source. Yes, okay, somebody's got the PDF, but that's a leak. I need it official. I need it official. I know it is approved. I just want to see it officially approved. Everybody knew it was approved weeks ago. That's not the point, right? We need to see it officially approved. Officially approved. This was the PDF though. Self-regulatory organizations order granting accelerated approval of proposed rule changes as modified by amendments thereto to list and trade Bitcoin-based, commodity-based trust shares and trust units. Just try to... Looks legit. Looks legit. But again, why would they take it down? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Why would they take it down? Let's wait. Let's wait, guys. Let's just be patient. Let's be patient. That's why the price action is not moving. They've completely killed the market. They have killed it. Ethereum still wants to move, but they have just killed any pump on this. Even when it gets approved, we're like, oh, is it approved? Is it not? And then it's just kind of, it's going to be ridiculous. Tom, we don't know. We don't know if it's approved. That's the problem here. We don't know. All of us chilling here do not know if it's approved. Been trying to figure it out. Neil McCart says, nothing approved just yet, guys. Chill out. Boom. Check fidelity. People are saying, no, it's not about checking the fidelity. All these platforms have wrote that down ages ago. Ethereum is popping off, guys. Ethereum is not messing around. Up 7% here on the day now. Ethereum. Ian says, I've never been so glad I don't trade. Shahid, hello, good to see you, buddy. It's crazy manipulation. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance tanking, guys. Very interesting. People are rotating into the other plays now. The Bitcoin trade's gone, right? Everybody who wanted to be in that trade just for the spot ETF announcement are now getting out and looking for, quick bucks elsewhere. So they'll jump back into the altcoins. They'll be jumping back into Ethereum to see if Ethereum's the next narrative, which is why we're seeing that up 7%. Phantom's up 7% as well. Now sitting at 40 cents. This market's hot market, a lot of money in the market. If you look at total market cap, it's up 2%. So 2% more money has flown into crypto today. And majority of that is coming in altcoins. So you can see here, total 2, which excludes Bitcoin, is now up to close to $800 billion with a B. $billion with a B. Very, very interesting. Arbitrum is ripping, which is great for our VIP members. ijazcrypto.com/TG to jump into our Telegram group. That is one of our trades, is Arbitrum. So good to see Arbitrum ripping to the upside. Fantastic news for us. Optimism up 11%. That should hit our TPs as well, which is fantastic. So congrats. Congrats to you guys who took that trade. Congrats to you guys who are making spot gains. And if anybody wants to learn how to trade, make sure you come and see me or join us in the Telegram group, ijazcrypto.com/TG. Oh, man. How frustrating is this, guys? That they can't just approve the goddamn thing. We can see the PDF. That's not the issue, right? We know it's there. I just want them to officially approve it. It's not that we don't know, is it going to be approved or is it not? We know it's going to be approved now. Just let us have it. Right? Why did you put it up to then take it back down? You've admitted this is just market manipulation. That would be crazy. So Billy the Goat just said, you know what would be a crazy rug pull? For them to delay it now, and then they've done that leak on purpose. That would be, they need to be investigated hugely. For them to type a whole PDF, or if someone else did it, that's genius. But for them to type a whole PDF of saying it's approved and official documentation in official language, only for them to, someone's just put in the chat, breaking news, Joe Biden just approved Bitcoin spot ETF. Seamus has just jumped on saying it's approved, so it's all calm now. Seamus has told us. Seamus has told us in the chat, so it must be approved. Got the notification for CoinGecko. Oh, okay, you got it from CoinGecko. There you go. I'll put my life on it then. Ethereum is gone. Ethereum has gone straight through and is now blasting to space. Pete, can they do a class action lawsuit against the SEC? Yes, they should. Everybody affected from yesterday, because we know there was a $250 million wrecked. It's gone up, actually. $276 million wrecked in the last 24 hours. This is going to go up, right? This is due to Gary Gensler and the SEC. They need to be investigated, right? 2 things in a row. One, to get your Twitter hacked yesterday, and then to put a PDF up announcing this. Government agencies announce stuff all the time. They announce the CZ thing, they announce the Coinbase thing, they announce things all the time. This is not new for them, right? This is a real, this needs some serious investigation. Let's see what the suits are saying then. We'll give the suits another chance.
For a 1% move, a 30-year bond will move 18% in terms of price, right? So so if people really like bonds, if people really think that the Fed's going to be cutting interest rates 200, 300 basis points, then 30-year debt going from 4% to 3%, you're going to have equity-like returns there. At the same time, just the opposite can happen, like you saw in the third quarter of last year when interest rates went from 4% to 5%. You lost 18%. In price terms for owning 30-year debt. So I think tomorrow's market will really show, is there proper demand by investors for long-term debt?
Well said. Ira Jersey, thank you so much. Ira Jersey of Bloomberg Intelligence. We're going to stick with the fixed income world and turn now to the muni market, because here with us on set with more on what investors should keep in mind is Alex Patron. She is Director of Fixed Income at Rockefeller Asset Management. Alex, we were talking with Ira about supply and the onslaught of supply, at least for U.S.
Do you know what this reminds you of? This reminds you of like when you're waiting for like a New Year's Eve party and like you're waiting for the countdown and the countdown doesn't work or the speakers break and like everyone's like, is it New Year's yet? Is it New Year's? Has it gone midnight yet? Has it gone midnight? I don't know. Is it? Check your watch. Check your watch. Check yours. Like nobody knows. I'm like, should we just celebrate anyway? Should we just celebrate? Should we just cheer? Should we just pop off all the fireworks now? Should we go? Jokes. A bunch of jokes. So silly. Cool, guys. We'll keep waiting. We're patient. We'll keep waiting. We'll keep refreshing the different Twitter links. We'll keep an eye on the old Bitcoin price action. I know as soon as I end this stream, guys, it's going to get officially approved as soon as I end this stream. So, should I end the stream? Should I end it? Should I jump off? Is that what we want? Shall I jump off for the goodness of the crypto space? Because as soon as I end the stream, Gary's gonna do it. He's gonna prove it. See what Coinbase is saying. No more update there. It's actually so funny. La 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 la. We've all seen that. We've all seen the PDF. So look, ETF approval is now trending, but it's an absolute joke. RH now says it's been approved. Digital D says stay on. Right, yeah, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of this nonsense. Davey says stick around. Have a snake energy. I don't even know what that is, man. No energy drink for me, man. No energy drink for me. I need the natural energy that is provided from a Bitcoin spot ETF. That's what I need. But Gary Gensler doesn't want to give us that. So everybody's just tweeting the same video just to get clicks and likes, which obviously they do. Look at that. Look, she takes this video, same video from him, posts it, 48,000, 49,000 views, but we still don't have an official confirmation. Why would they take it down? Like if they push the button too early, it's actually more market manipulation to take it down. You're better off just leaving it and going with it at that point. Whose decision would it have been to take it down? Unbelievable. Pickle Die says I'm crying about it and it's approved. All right, man. Thanks, man. Mr. Got Plenty Ijaz announced. Should we do that? Should we as a community take it upon ourselves to announce our own Bitcoin spot ETFs? Should we do that? Because once we say it's approved then. There's no going back. We can't trade it anywhere, but it's approved. We give it the official old man stamp of approval and we'll take it from there. RH says, Ijaz is the most decent gentleman on Cryptoverse. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Guys, do me a favor and smash up the likes. Not enough likes here on this video. And at least likes or spot ETF. I've got to get something. Likes would be good. Yeah, nothing from the suits. Bloomberg's just showing US credit spreads, which I don't think you guys want to see. You might want to see some price action here, although Bitcoin's coming back to where it was when we started this stream, to be honest. Yeah, real anticlimax. Like I said, it would be anticlimax, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. I mean, this is a really bad anticlimax. Like this is really. Let's see what CNBC is saying here on their homepage. I wonder if they're even covering it. After false SEC post on ETF, bulls still see Bitcoin at all-time highs this year. Is this from earlier? Or is this this from this morning? Okay, forget that. They've not even posted on the latest one. They're so slow. See, traditional markets are useless. At least CoinDesk a little bit quicker. They post this quite quickly. They put it back up yet? Nope, they haven't. Nope, they haven't. But we got the PDF. Seems all legit, guys. Seems all legit. It's a proper detailed report. Like if someone hoaxed this, they would have. Imagine the effort you'd have to go to hoax this. They've just pulled the trigger too early, and then they've deleted it. I can't believe it. Vanessa A. Countryman. Wouldn't it be signed Gary Gensler? I guess the secretary could do it. Kaz says it's been approved. FX Street and CoinGecko. Yeah, that's old. We've had all the everybody come out and say it's approved. That's not the issue. Everybody said it's approved, apart from the person who needs to say it's approved, which is Gary Gensler and the SEC. Right? Every influencer, every news agency has said it's approved. The PDF says it's approved. Look, granting accelerated approval of proposed rule changes as modified by amendments to list and trade Bitcoin-based commodity-based trust shares and trust units. I'm pretty sure this is the approval. It's dated the right date as well. It's got the NASDAQ, CBOE. Yeah, all the main ones. All the main ones that we'd expect there. Anything else interesting you guys are seeing? Don't forget to tag me at RealIjaz01. If you've got anything interesting we can cover off together. Any news sources? Okay, somebody's just tweeted something. Let's have a look. Chris, thank you for that. Can pretty much guarantee that the SEC did not intend for anyone outside the SEC to get their hands on this document or link yet. I can confirm that I downloaded the document from the SEC Gov website, and it's an approval order. Assume the SEC will repost shortly. Yeah, you hope so. Who is this? James Seyfart. His name's Fart. Haha, Seyfart. Some CFA guy from Bloomberg. Cool story. Cool. Come on, Gary. How long does it take to write a post, man? Has he forgot his Twitter password again or something? Kaz says, why are the SEC playing blind man's butt off? Exactly. Kieran says, I will not believe it until it's been officially approved. Ijaz announces. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to have to stay here. Should I get a sleeping bag or something? Should I just sleep here on this chair? And you guys wake me up, like just scream or like, I don't know, do something. I wouldn't hear you, would I? Just like spam me with notifications. The news around the world is massive Bitcoin volatility amid confusion surrounding spot Bitcoin ETF approval. Yeah, crazy volatility, messing up everybody's leverage positions. Matthew says it'll probably be approved when everyone is bed sleep and no one can catch the trade. Yeah, Gary Gensler is going to do a calculus. He's going to see which time zone has the most people in the world asleep at any given time that is heavily Bitcoin trading dependent, and then he's going to launch it at that time, right? He's going to launch it at the most inadvantageous time possible, and he'll liquidate everybody while they're sleeping, and then he'll announce it. Abdul Rashid says CoinMarketCap posts article saying it's approved. Why not on the SEC press release? Yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's a big joke. It's a joke. These are community articles, that's why. Anybody could just put up an article on here. This is all old stuff anyway. Forget that. Anybody got any other leads that we can look to? While Gary Gensler is like kind of remembering his Twitter password or something. Let's see what these guys are saying.
It's about 500 at Twitch. The czar of Amazon Studios business told us hundreds as well. That's not anywhere near as severe as the cutting Amazon did early.
What do you guys watch nowadays? Like, what's your setup for watching? Do you guys mainly watch YouTube? Do you guys have Netflix? Do you use Prime, Hulu, something else? Let me know in the comments. Always intrigued by stuff like that. What is it you guys actively watch? If you're watching stuff, where are you watching? Yeah. So I think Netflix kind of old and boring now, isn't it? What does everyone watch nowadays? Sufyan is asking the $1 trillion question, which is when will the announcement be? And Sufyan, everybody in the chat is going to give you the answer. They're all going to reply to you right now and give you the answer. Because we know the answer. We know the exact answer. So Jose says, I want to go take a dump, and I bet the approval comes out then. So if the approval comes out when you take a dump, where does that mean the approval lies? Interesting. Okay, you guys watching YouTube. RH watches mainly YouTube. Steve, YouTube. Dave, YouTube primarily. Pele says tasty trade. Let's keep it on the price section as well, actually. Ethereum's off, mate. Okay. Let's have a look.
ETF proposals, plural, on an accelerated basis.
Right.
Okay, I think it's official.
Really required to address one of them, which was the ETF brought on by ARK and 21. But of course, with this announcement, we're understanding, or we believe, that this would likely be a slew of them because the SEC doesn't want to be in a position where it's picking favorites. It's giving the go-ahead to one ETF, but not to the others, which would give that first ETF an advantage. And again, we have confirmed that this is the SEC doing it this time.
All right, let's get right down to Washington. Kaylee Lyons, co-host of Balance of Power, standing by right now. Kaylee, let's try this one more time. What do we know? What's happening?
It's approved.
Well, we know that approval actually has happened this time around. This is approval of 2 necessary filings that were necessary for these products to actually do what they intended to do. One being the 19B4 filings, that is the exchanges that will list these products. The other is the S1s. Many revisions that we have seen in recent days were to those S1 filings that also had to be approved by the SEC. So that is what we know at this point. Of course, this was a highly anticipated decision. Despite the events of yesterday, the confusion around whether or not approval had happened at that point, it turned out it did not, but it is indeed happening now. These spot Bitcoin products, for the first time in ETF form, being approved here in the U.S. All 11 of them remain.
I'm going to just jump in here and bring in Shanali Bassett, who is, of course, covering crypto as well. Shanali, what have you been hearing from the folks you've been talking to?
Yeah, it's interesting because we've had the initial approvals and we have some big issuers already coming out with statements. For example, Grayscale, one of the biggest ones, had said that they're happy to confirm that the Grayscale team has received the necessary regulatory approvals to list GBTC to the NYSE ARCA and will share a press release shortly. We expect these firms to start trading their ETFs tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a large day for these issuers. All
right, we are getting that confirmation crossing the terminal. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has been approved. Here are a few others that have also been approved. The Bitwise Bitcoin ETF has been approved. The hashtag Bitcoin ETF has also been approved. Proposals from iShares Bitcoin Trust has also been approved. And the Valkyrie Bitcoin Fund has also been approved.
Hit the likes if you love that the ETF is finally approved. Price action is going absolutely nowhere because everybody's just bloody confused, but it's approved. So let's forget about it. Let's be positive. Let's be positive.
Right?
It's approved.
We expected this to happen, and the names that we're seeing here right now are the ones that are going to be first out the gate.
All 11.
Oh, man.
The first mover advantage is very important when it comes to the ETF world. When this happened in futures, you saw many assets flow to the first one out the gate. Now, tomorrow, what's going to be interesting is that war on fees. And remember, the reason we talk about GBTC is they have that $30 billion fund. What happens to those assets? Do they stay stable? Do they go down? Do they move up? The choices people make from here in terms of where to go for their Bitcoin exposure will be fascinating. But certainly, let's just take a moment here. What a historic moment for the Bitcoin industry to have this
Sonali.
approval after so many years.
Yes.
It was a tough 24 hours.
Yes, it was.
You and I have been sitting here, and even when we first watched the first set of filings go up, there were a lot of questions about how the SEC was going to do this. A lot of people couldn't access the filings right after it initially was posted. It was posted and then came down. Certainly confusing 24 hours and even last half an hour, but we're here.
We're here, and we have the headlines. They're crossing the Bloomberg terminal. Kelly Lines, this looks like a lot more organized this time around with all the individual headlines on the different ETFs that were filed with the SEC. What do we know about how else the SEC is going to communicate with investors about this?
Well, can you imagine if it's fake again? Are we done?
And Scarlett, that is available on the SEC website right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see further statement out from the SEC in the form of potentially a press release or something from the chair, Gary Gensler himself, just given how sensitive the communication around this now is, especially so because of the events of yesterday, making it very clear what information can be trusted and what cannot be. Also knowing that this is going to raise a lot of questions that regulators may now be having to answer. The idea that now that they have approved this spot product in particular, now both Bitcoin futures and Bitcoin spot ETFs will be trading. Does that mean that we could see the same for other tokens out there? Could we be seeing a spot Ether ETF, a spot XRP ETF, those kinds of questions? I'm digging through the language in the statement now to see if we have any indication of that answer.
Well, So I just want to go back to one of those questions, Kelly, because I'm also looking through this filing, the 22 pages of it. And let's get to some of the concerns that people had about the potential approval of this, which the SEC does address head on, saying that, quote, some commenters contend that the commission should disapprove the proposals because the Bitcoin market has been and is being and will likely continue to be manipulated. Now, they acknowledge that, yes, they agree with those concerns, or they acknowledge those concerns, I should say. But they said that pursuant basically to what the law and the regulations require, they had no choice but to actually grant approval.
There you go, guys. We've got an official on the link, finally from the SEC. So you can see here it's an official SEC website, which is good. Although, it does look a bit dodgy, right? It doesn't have the Favicon logo up. Let's just see if I can find this the other way. Let's just go here. Let's go news. Let's go to press release. And interesting. So here, they've got it here. Today the commission approves the listing and trading of a number of Bitcoin spot exchanges, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So it's there. You got an official, well, it looks official enough. I guess, again, I can't see it from here. Let's see if I can find it here. There you go. It's there. It's not fake anymore, guys. We got it. Official statement on their website. Gary Gensler on the SEC website with a statement. And let me just tweet this out so you guys have got it as well. If you guys want to go follow me on Twitter and retweet this as well. Official Gary Gensler statement, Bitcoin spot ETF approval. All right. Give you a bit of emoji action. Send that. Worst management, like you said, Yemi, of an announcement I've ever seen. They've completely sucked the life out of it. But look, long term, it's positive.
Remember, this is the big debate in the market. And he also makes clear that this is in regard to ETPs, in regard to one crypto asset that is Bitcoin in and of itself. And to your point, he says it also does not mean that they approve or endorse Bitcoin. Interestingly, we have to talk about the price movement here in Bitcoin. The huge run up we've seen in Bitcoin prices up till this moment, you are only seeing Bitcoin trade at $45,700 here or so. Remember, in the fake announcement yesterday, it ran up to $48,000 nearly. And so you have to wonder whether really a lot of these gains were priced in. Some of this will require looking at the flows we see into these ETFs. And again, those are up for debate. On one hand, you see Bloomberg Intelligence expecting that you could have a record ETF flow announcement tomorrow or in the following days from BlackRock, among others. But time will tell. And if we don't see that demand,
Back down to Kelly Lyons in Washington. And Kelly, I mean, looking through the statement by Gensler, and as Sonali just pointed out, I mean, the idea here that this is not an endorsement of Bitcoin in any way, shape, or form. And as Scarlett alluded to, maybe it's just because the law itself forced their hand. This gets to the question here as whether we should expect additional actions by whether it's the SEC or the CFTC to provide a little bit more clarity about the umbrella for regulation.
Well, first, let's investigate the manipulation by the SEC on this announcement.
Should be decided by Congress. It would take congressional legislation to actually divvy up authority between the regulators, the CFTC and the SEC. To this point, the SEC maintains that most of these tokens, Bitcoin aside, are indeed securities, and that existing securities law therefore applies to them. Their primary mechanism of actually applying that has been enforcement action, essentially taking these ideas to the courts. Now, that said, the courts have ruled against them in some ways, like in the XRP case. They decided that court ruled that it was not a security when it issued to different kinds of investors. So there was a bit of nuance in that decision. But it just kind of speaks to this idea, Romain, that as of now, there is no.
Guys, if you're not already, make sure you're in our Telegram community. Link is at the bottom here. ijazcrypto.com/TG. Make sure you get there. We're going to share a bunch of different trades and insights and analysis for you guys. And look, the price action is going to be quite sketchy now. Do not be surprised to see a dump after we jump off this stream. Do not be surprised to see a dump over the next kind of couple of days and hours. Like maybe there's a bit of a pump as well. Like expect volatility, basically. More bias to the downside, I think, because the reality is Bitcoin has priced in this ETF at 45. And I think it could have run up yesterday to 48, 49 based on some of the leverage in the system. But it looks like from where we're at right now, this doesn't have, there's not a lot of, energy in this market, particularly when you get such a rubbish announcement like that. You're not going to get that volume coming in on one big, godlike candle, like people like to call it, because of the way they sporadically kind of announce it, which is horrible. Horrible, should be investigated. But for now, the reality is we just need to let that settle now, because the reality is money's going to flow into Bitcoin, right? Tomorrow, whether the price moves or not, we're going to see record inflows into Bitcoin. Now, that might be dampened by some of the people taking profits and kind of, the anticlimax of this all, which is fine, but I don't care about that. All I care is that this is a flagship moment. This is something that us as a crypto community have been waiting for a very, very long time. We've been waiting for a Bitcoin ETF to be approved. They denied us. They blocked us. We went to court. We fought back. We did our thing. We kept making content. We kept pushing it along. And now this is a real maturation process, right? This is like that step when your kid goes and graduates at uni or something. It's a really big moment where it enters the big leagues of all the other asset classes, whether it's gold, whether it's silver, whether it's other commodities, whether it's the S&P. It gets itself an ETF. The big boys are involved, and it's a real graduation process for Bitcoin. Now, naturally, that comes with pros. Naturally, it comes with cons. There'll be things you do not like now that the big boys are involved. You're not going to like it. I've mentioned this in numerous videos in the past. If you ask for these big boys to come, it comes with negative connotations as well. It comes with things you don't like about the way they operate, the way they manipulate the markets, the way now over time gains will start to reduce, right? After this crazy maybe cycle we get here. So these are all the things we have to expect, right? We know what happens when TradFi comes in. We know the kind of mess that they operate. They like to call us and say we're a mess, but look at this. This is their first messing around with us, announcing a Bitcoin spot ETF, and look at how they manipulated the market. And they want us to think our crypto is bad, right? They're going to speak from a pedestal. The reality is we know where they sit, and we know now where we stand in terms of, look, if it works for us and we like a Bitcoin spot ETF because it means more people coming to crypto, great. Doesn't mean we're getting into bed with BlackRock or Fidelity and these guys. I never trust those guys, and I never will trust those guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 1 hour 40-minute long live stream waiting for Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler's going to now go home, have his dinner, have his bland meal with water, no sauce, right? No sauce, no ketchup, no Peronaise, no peri-peri sauce, no barbecue sauce. He's just going to go and have a plain meal. Guys, if you appreciate the stream, smash some likes on the way out. Don't forget to subscribe and also check out our Telegram group, ijazcrypto.com/TG. I'll see you in the next one.